Yo, what's going on? You tuned into another episode of Not the Average Local Rapper, hosted by yours truly, Eastshore Ridge. This is episode number 4, and I'm liking what I'm hearing and seeing so far, man. Been getting good feedback. I appreciate the people that's been listening so far. And yeah, man, I'm glad I stepped into this podcasting lane, man. I think the the few people that have hit me. I think they understand and appreciate, what I'm trying to do with this joint and, hopefully through word of mouth and I ain't banking on it, but hopefully the algorithm, will spread this joint a little bit, man, because I can't say it enough, man. I'm just trying to be positive and informative. Like a lot of these podcasts, they cool, they entertaining, can't deny that, but think it's just as important, if not more important. I'll leave that up to the people to decide, but I think it's just as important at the very least to be informed as much as it is entertained. I mean, a lot of us trying to do things as artists, and you know, we may not always have the knowledge that we need to do things, but the man next to you might, and if I'm the man next to you, then I'm always down to provide any information I can, man. So like I said, episode 4, I've been seeing the numbers or whatever on YouTube. Like I said, people tuning in. Spotify haven't really seen anything yet. I think you gotta have a certain amount of plays before Spotify will even record any of the analytics and stuff like that. But I even spoke on that, for a reason, to kind of get into, what's been going on this week, man. The Spotify wrap ups came out. They all over the place. I think just about every artist. I mean, the majority of artists have been posting their Spotify stats on social media, and I think it's dope, man. It's a flex for real. Why not? Fuck it, man. We work hard as artists, put a lot into this shit, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money. You know what I mean? In certain cases, depending on the artist, you know what I'm saying. So why not, show off like what you've accomplished on that particular platform? Yeah, man. I mean, YouTube did their wrap ups as well, but I didn't really see nobody posting YouTube wrap ups. I mean, it was more about the Spotify because I think that's just kind of become like a standard thing at the end of every year. You know what I mean? I think people tend to just, you know, once that wrap up come out, like that becomes the thing, man. It's like another trend, like a yearly trend and shit. So, like I said, man, I think it's cool. I think it's encouraging. It's motivating. You know what I mean? Me personally, I ain't post mine. I'll elaborate, but I think just for artists in general, like you know, of course, like I said, like take it as a time to flex your accomplishments, and of course, even before that, man, you know what I mean, to show appreciation to those that listen to you. You know what I'm saying? That's the top thing that comes out of all of that. Like they give you a lot of statistics. You know what I mean? And it can be real eye opening, man. You know what I mean? To see the type of stuff to be going on in platforms that you may not necessarily notice until them wrap ups come out. But like I said, man, it's dope, y'all. I mean, I think it's competitive at the same time. Like I said, it can be motivating and encouraging, but it can be competitive. Like I think like of course being a rapper is already competitive, so numbers are always a big thing when it comes to like rap, especially in this day and time in the streaming era, and um, the views and the streams and followers, likes, comments, etc. So on. All that shit's important now, man. So, but as far as why I chose not to post my Spotify, same as last year. I didn't. I think last year was the first year I really even recorded any Spotify numbers because I just got on the streaming platforms. Maybe I had one song on there in 2021, and then I think probably like early middle 2022 is when I started posting songs on the platforms or whatever. So my numbers was pretty low last year. I definitely seen a huge increase this year, but I think with me, and this is just my personal thing, you know, like it's just like I just kind of choose to keep certain things about my journey to myself, man. It's something, of course, that I look at just like everybody else, and I reflect and I take mental notes, and you know, like I use it as motivation, and you know, I use it as something to you know put a fire under my ass to do better next year. You know what I mean? I just look at it as appreciation. Like I said, you know, I appreciate all the people that listen, man. The one thing that caught my eye because when people was posting on the main thing that most people was posting was like when you get to the end and it has like the two different the two different sets of numbers that you can just share straight to social media or whatever. They was posting that one, but like before you got to that one, like in the little slideshow thing or whatever, like it was showing you other numbers that wasn't on those shareable stat sheets, you know. So like if you wanted to like share those other numbers, you would probably, I'm assuming, would have to screenshot them or something. But you know, the one that really like stood out to me on mines, you know what I mean, and I like talk about was like just the to see the amount of people who had me in their top 5 and top 10 artists, you know what I mean? Like, that was cool for real, because it's like, you know, sometimes I still be surprised, you know, that I'm a rapper, even after all this long time of doing it, you know, like, and not so much surprised that I'm a rapper, but the thing that, like, damn, you know, it's like people all over the world, you know, listening to shit that I create in my crib, you know what I mean? So, it's a dope thing, man. But like I said, you know, the the numbers are just you know like a big thing in music, man. With me, you know, not so much like, but this ain't really so much about me. You know, I can get into how I personally feel about things, but I'd rather you know just talk about the in general first. You know, and I think you know like numbers are such a big thing because I feel like whether it's false or real, you know, it shows value to whatever you got going on. Like, you know, when, for example, like people want a lot of followers because, or they want the blue check because, you know, when you go to they page, it's gonna it's gonna look like you know like they really got motion, like something's going on. The numbers is big. They got the blue check going on. You know, they might got certain people following them that they got like you know a high profile and whatnot. You know, these type of things is important to certain individuals, and I can't say whether it's right or wrong. You know, like I don't knock anything any other artist does when it comes to you know how they choose to you know what they do with their career, because you know we all entitled to that. You know what I'm saying? But I think where it get a little too much for me is like when it gets to a point where like you gotta buy those type of things. Like I think when you earn them, it's one thing, man. It's like you know you earn that. Like can't nobody really take that away from you. So if that's important to you and you worked hard for it, then that's nothing. That's nothing short of an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? Like that's hard work and getting to it. You know. But when you start buying them type of numbers, which I guess is a thing. You know, I'm assuming, you know, I see it talked about a lot. It's something that I never got into because I'm just not I'm not really a numbers guy. when it come to like, really caring about it, and feeling like it's like a top priority. But I'm guessing it's a thing. You can buy followers, you can buy streams, you can buy views on YouTube. You can buy it all, man. And like I said, man, depending on what you in this for, man, to each their own, yo. It's just a wild concept to me, man. Like not even so much that people would do it, but just the fact that it even exists. Like, I mean, why wouldn't it exist? But it's just like, damn, like this is what we've come to, I guess. Like, is it really that serious? But to some folks it is that serious though. So, um, I mean, so like the numbers, I guess they do matter. Like when it come to, like I said, looking like you got motion. But my thing is though, like that's only gonna get you so far. Like, because it's one thing to look like you got motion because of like the falsehood you're creating. But like, I mean, it's going to be a point where you're gonna have to show that you actually got some motion. You can't just look like you got motion. Like, these. And sometimes, like, these number ratios don't be matching, and hey, they ain't my business, but it's like, to those who feel like, that's a important thing to check on about with an artist. Yeah, you know what I mean. I guess that is like a issue. Like people will call that out. Like if you're doing that type of thing. So to each their own, man. That's all I can say. When it comes to that. But me, personally, like I said, I would touch on the the general, the you get what I'm trying to say, the general thing, how it works generally with artists. But as far as me though, like I don't really care too much about the numbers. I mean, I think the numbers are important when they're real numbers though. Like I don't want no made up numbers. I don't want nobody. I don't want no third party company force feeding and spamming a bunch of people just to get my numbers up. Like I don't need a machine. Like I'm about the organic growth. So with me, like I said, the numbers they gonna show. Like the progress. Better yet, I don't even know if it's so much the growth as much as it is just like the progress of like the music and how much is getting listened to and all of that. But with me, I would much rather focus on the interactions that I had with the listeners, the feedback that I receive, and just the genuine shit, man. You know what I mean? Really having like a real you know a real rapport with the listeners and the supporters. Like it's like I got a good group of people, not very large, but a good group of people that follow me on Instagram and they really support my music. Every time I post, like I'll just see certain names and I'll just be like, yeah, I knew my man was coming through, man. He always support me, and if you one of them people, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that listens to my music and just gives it a chance. But the ones that support it and just always show up every time, man. Like I got a special type of appreciation and love for y'all. So yeah, man. I just be focused on the organic shit, man. I feel like that's what's gonna win the race that I'm in. I'm not in the same race as everybody else though, so it's all about what you in it for. Like I can't stress that enough for real. And like I said, man, you can't help but be focused on the numbers to a certain extent. I look at my numbers, to see, but I like really look at my numbers though. Like I'm not just looking to see how many. I'm like looking to see where, who, when, all that. Like like these these platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, they give you the demographics of who's listening and viewing your shit. So it's like they doing that for a reason. It's just up to you to determine the reason that they doing it. To me, it's so I can gain the knowledge to like know who's listening, so I can like further push the music to them. I think a lot of people just throw the music out there and they just like, hey man, as long as people listening to it and it shows up on my views and it shows up on my streams, then hey, I'm cool with that. And once again, if that's what you're in it for, then that more power to you. But yeah, like I look at them numbers to see how much progress I'm making, especially when I'm running the ads, because I want to see like, all right, is these ads actually becoming effective in me getting streams and me getting views on my YouTube channel. And they have been, fortunately enough. I think it's one of them things that you get out of it what you put into it, but I think I'll make the promotion and all that shit to running ads. I think I'm just gonna make that a whole separate episode because that really does deserve its own episode. As much that could be, talked about with that. And hopefully maybe even have somebody on there with me, that has the same type of experience or the same amount of experience running ads as I do or more. Yeah. So but run ads and all that just kind of leads into how I built the growth organically. It just started with me basically just experimenting, let me and with me I wasn't promoting like my music at first. I was just promoting me rapping. I was kind of making content before I was making music, even though I'm more of a fan of making music. But it's not so much always about what I'm a fan of. The music is kind of what, we really in it for. But like, I was making the videos, just rapping bars, which I'm going to get back to in 2024 for real. I'm going to get back into that real heavy. But, and I was just, running ads for them. And, like I seen the effectiveness of it. So I'm like, all right, cool. And it was just organic. Interaction, you know what I'm saying? Like people leaving comments, people following me, people sending messages and tapping in and letting me know where they was listening from, and I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, let me step this shit up a bit. So that's what I did, man. I got a whole game plan, I may or may not discuss that one day. Like I said, I be trying to give up the game, but I don't know if I can really give up the game plan. Like, more like the rules of the game and shit. But yeah, I think all in all though, it's just about, what you aiming for as an artist, what you feel like you need to do. I think that's just what I respect, like I think every artist has, like as long as you're doing it your way and it's effective for you, it's leading you to where you're trying to go. I don't really know if there's a right or a wrong way. Like, off the record, I can feel how I feel about it. I wouldn't do it so much, talking on here because I'm not here to speak my biased opinion on things. I'm only here to kind of give it up how, it is, like, in general amongst the culture and the community and whatnot. But yeah, to all the artists and creators, producers alike, just do what you feel is necessary when it comes to putting your music out there. And as long as you're doing it your way and like I said, it's effective, shouldn't matter what others feel is right or wrong. Like, it's about what you feel is the right or wrong way of doing it. But just, learn from everything and just make sure you're making progress, man. And it ain't always about the numbers when it comes to the progress. I mean, that's a part of it, but it's the things that's bigger than that that you got to pay attention to. I was telling my mother earlier actually. I was like, the numbers they tell you how many people listening to your shit, but the people gonna be the ones that tell you, how they feel about it, how good it is, what they would like to hear more of, so on and so forth. So just pay attention to the progress altogether, man, and just keep moving forward as an artist, man. This has been Not the Average Local Rapper, hosted by East Shore Ridge. If you're listening, I appreciate you for making it this far, and I'll catch you on the next one.